This is your host, Russell Klein. Thank you for joining us today for our session on accessibility, mobility, and home safety, supporting those who are aging in place. From the top, on behalf of 101 Mobility of Houston, our president, Christian Fitsch-Mouras, and myself, I'd like to give our deep thanks for the leadership and partnership of the Hilbun law firm. Their client services coordinator, Dondi Wiggum, is always a pleasure to work with. Our session today will be approximately 30 minutes, with 20 minutes for Christian's lecture and 10 minutes for your questions. Everyone is currently muted with video off. If you have a question, you may put it in the chat or else raise your hand to be called upon during the Q&A. This session is also being recorded and we expect to post it online at our YouTube page if you search for 101 Mobility of Houston later this week. Without further ado, here's Christian Fitsch-Mouras.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me. Today's topic is accessibility, mobility, and home safety. We only have like 20 minutes, so of course we cannot cover it all, but here we'll mostly see the different approach we can have with regard to making the home safe and accessible. My name is Christian Fitsch-Mouras. I'm the president of 101 Mobility in Houston, Texas. We are expert in mobility and accessibility. I do hold a couple of certifications that pertains to our activity. One is a certified home assessment and modification professional. This is mainly meant to work for workers' comp, people who have been injured at work, SCIs, TBIs. And CAPS is Certified Aging in Place Specialist earned through the National Association of Home Builders. This is, as it says, to age in place. I also serve on the board of the Houston Gerontological Society and the Houston Association of Continuity of Cares. So first, that's not pleasant what I'm going to say, just need to be said. Statistics we do not want to be part of, as 1 out of 4 adults, meaning anyone over 65, will fall in the next 12 months period. Every 11 seconds, an older adult is treated in the ER for a fall, and every 19 minutes, an older adult dies from a fall. So we don't want to be part of these statistics, of course, and we need to keep in mind that if we fail once, we are twice as likely to fall again. Falls are not a normal part of aging, provided we take the proper measures in a timely manner, which means before it even happens. The first step out to that is to make our home safe by getting it ready for us to live till the age of 99 or more, unless, of course, you really like nursing homes. So that's nice to make the home safe, but who wants a home to look like this? Probably not any one of you. So there are 4 widely recognized terms when it comes to designing the home. You probably heard the term universal design. We'll go in further detail about what it means, but there are also the words adaptable design, accessible design, and visitable design. So universal design, it's the design of product environments that to be usable by everyone without the need for adaptation. It's, when done well, it's an invisible element of the home or the premises, okay? It even increases the market appeal of the home. In other words, it's not meant to send the message that the home is designed for someone with disability. And we'll go through very quick example here. It's fairly simple. For instance, a 36-inch wide door doesn't tell you, oh, this is for a wheelchair. No, it's just a very comfortable door for everyone to use. Same thing with barrier-free showers. It doesn't have to look like a ADA shower, like you can see in certain hotels. Just a roll-in, barrier-free, no threshold bathroom. It's just very comfortable, very easy to use for everyone, irrespective of his or her abilities. And it can be very nice. And nowadays, it definitely adds value to the home. So it's the same thing with grab bars. They don't need to look like grab bars. You do not have to make your bathroom look like a rehab center. The grab bars can take the form of towel bars or a paper toilet holder, or even shelves like that, or shampoo shelves. They can, and then they are anchored in a way that make them extremely strong and can be used as grab bar, because they are grab bars, as a matter of fact. So it's universal design. Everyone stepping in the shower or the bathroom and seeing that doesn't say, oh, a handicapped person lives there. Same thing for the kitchen. Here we're showing a kitchen that have adapted. You can see different counter heights for people in a wheelchair. You can see those cabinets that can be lowered to come within reach of someone in a wheelchair. These are expensive though, but at the end of the day, it doesn't look like an ugly kitchen or a special purpose kitchen. It just looks like a very nice kitchen. That is universal design. That would be the same, for instance, when it comes to the lower portion of the fridge. You can see on the left side of the screen where the lower portion is a drawer, much easier to use when you can't bend or you are in a wheelchair. Same thing, it's easier to use for everyone. It is universal design. So an adaptable design now, it's a slightly different story. The adaptable design is designed to address future needs, or to be able to evolve in order to address future needs or changes over time. We'll have a few examples, like the unfinished large volume space over a garage with high slope roof and strong floor system that can be turned into a garage apartment. That thinking ahead of time, later we may need that for mom, that's adaptable design. Large closets on each floor that are located above each other and that are with a pit at the bottom that are meant to be an elevator shaft. It is an adaptable design. Also having before completion of the bathroom, having blockings between the studs all around the bathroom, even if we don't need them now, is an adaptable design, because it will make the installation of grab bar very easy if they are needed later. So picture talk better. Here we have an example of two closets that can be turned into an elevator shaft, the unfinished volume above the garage door, and the blocking between the stud around the bathroom. The accessible design now is a different story. This time, we definitely want to address the specific needs of an individual who has a disability. And now this design does not carry the obligation for market appeal as opposed to the universal design. So this also comes with an assessment of the needs, the client's need, of course, and it will pull from an array of technology or product that are typically not used by everyone. Ramps, of course, it can be wooden ramps, can be aluminum ramp, they can be portable for short distance or threshold ramps, depending on the needs, depending on how permanent. I refer to ADA here. You have to know that as far as your home is concerned, you do not have to be ADA compliant. ADA is a non-discrimination act, actually, that provide accessibility to everyone irrespective of their ability. But your home is not a public space, it's not supposed to be accessible to everyone. It's just supposed to be accessible to you or the homeowner or whoever you want to live in this home. So, but we do use the ADA requirement of being no steeper than 12 inch of travel distance for every inch of rise, because it is a very good rule of thumb. There is no room for ramp. So you understand now that, yes, if we need a 12-inch of travel, 1 foot of travel for every inch of rise, and we want to go 4 feet high, we'll need to have 48 or 50 foot of ramp, which is a lot of real estate. So if we don't have the room for that ramp, of course, we have also the platform lifts, also called wheelchair lift, or in this type of application, porch lifts. Inside the home, we mentioned, of course, all the stair lifts, whether straight or curve, different animals, not the same price at all. The straight stair lift for standard piece of equipment can be installed very quickly. Curve stair lifts are made to fit the very staircase, so it takes about a month to get, and it is much more expensive. Stair lift can also be installed outside, provided they are designed for being outdoor. In Houston, with the weather we get, the humidity we get, an indoor stair lift won't last very long outside. Elevators, two big situation here. Either the home has been designed with the possibility of an elevator at a later stage. So that means there is already an elevator shaft in the form of closets large enough and above each other, well aligned above each other, with a pit at the bottom and removable floors in between. Now we can install a regular elevator in this elevator shaft, that like it is shown on the image on the left. Unfortunately, the vast majority of the house is not designed this way, and there are other solutions for those houses, because if you want to create a shaft now, it will be a major remodeling project that will drive the cost of the installation of an elevator quite high. So there are what we call a shaftless elevator, like the one that is shown in the middle and on the right. This one just travels between 2 rails. All what we have to create is this hoistway between the 2 floors, a hole, if you will, between the 2 floors. And we have this phone booth that can travel between those 2 rails from one floor to another. And that limits the cost of the construction part. Accessibility for everyone. There are other lifts for other needs, a ceiling lift, pool lifts. Of course, this is definitely noticeable, and a ceiling lift certainly does not add value to the home. The market appeal is not there, but the necessity might be there. So this is accessible design. Now, the visitable design is, I would say, the easiest one. Visitable design is meant not to provide access to the entire home to the homeowner or the people living there, but is basically focused on the ground floor in order to be able to receive friends, visitors, to provide easy access to the people we want the visits of. So this is usually meant with the wheelchair in mind. It's this is the defining item, along also with walkers and canes. Okay, the idea here is really to give access to the main floor of the house, not the bedrooms, but of course the living space and the guest bathroom. Curb appeal here is a challenge because, again, this is not for the home user. This is just for the visitors. Here again, like in the universal design, we want the thing to be well done in order to at least not reduce, but not reduce the curb appeal of the house, but increase it if possible. We don't want an eyesore. So again, we've seen a universal design. It's meant for everyone, not visible, increase the market appeal of the home. The adaptable design is things that are not necessarily visible either, but that are designed in order to prepare for future needs. The accessible design, this time is definitely to address some specific accessibility issues or challenges of the people living in the home. Market appeal is not the priority anymore. Accessibility is. And finally, the visitable design, which is kind of the same thing, but only for visitors, only on the ground floor, with some market appeal in it. I hope that this quick presentation has been of any interest, and I am of course available for any question you may have. I tried to be quick to fit that in 20 minutes. It looks like it's even less than that.
All right. Can you hear me, Christian?
Yes, I can.
Good. All right. Then I want to say thank you all for joining us today. Christian, I appreciate you all spending the time with us to discuss improvements to home accessibility. We will now take questions. Please raise your hand or type your questions in the chat window. Meanwhile, Christian, I should say I received an email from Cheryl asking about strategies for family members with dementia. Well, it's not a modification we do. Perhaps you have a suggestion or a partner referral for her questions, which were, what is the best door lock for dementia? Or is there a security system that's appropriate?
Okay, so the thing with dementia, it's usually, there is some accessibility and mobility issue that comes with dementia that can be addressed the same way. However, the other thing, and like any challenges of this nature, you always have to keep in mind, do I need to modify the home to allow the person to live independently, or do I need to equip the home to help the caregiver? So the question of independence must be asked prior to anything, okay? So is it just to get the person independent, or is it to help assist the caregiver in caring for that person, okay? So coming back to the question about dementia, here we are in this in the context of what are the tools to help the caregiver, because typically someone with late or advanced dementia probably doesn't live by him or herself, but with care. So now, having said that, any lock with combination lock or whatever will work. It's actually, it will really be used by the caregiver, not by the person with the challenge. Does it make sense? Did I answer the question?
Yeah, now are you speaking specifically to exterior doors, or is there something that might be interior doors where they want to prevent someone from, say, falling down basement stairs, or other things where they may be unmonitored for a few minutes? You don't want them locking themselves, let's say, inside a bathroom accidentally.
That was a question for me.
I'm saying that I'm guessing that
Yes,
maybe
yes.
where her question was coming from.
Okay, but again, we're talking about a device that will actually be used by the caregivers, not by the people with dementia. So, does it make sense?
Sure. Okay. All right. Well, we still have quite a handful of people participating. Is there anything that folks in the room would like to see addressed? All right. Seeing no comments, at least put something in the chat to let us know your thoughts, or bid us adieu.
Oops.
Okay. I see Dondi has said, what do you recommend for a family that is caring for a patient with dementia? A parent is on the second floor. What do you, can you contextualize that a little bit more? Do you want to be unmuted, Dondi? Go ahead, you can unmute yourself.
Hey there. So we have a family who's caring for a parent who has dementia, and the parent is actually living on the second floor of the house, but there's concerns about them maybe falling down the stairs, and moving them to the ground floor is not an option at the time. So is there, I don't think a baby gate would be safe. So what would be an answer to keep them safe on the second floor?
Okay, the risk here is the fall.
Right.
Okay, so the risk is the fall. And in that case, the stair lift will be probably a good option. Because the stair lift will be used instead of trying to get down the floor, the stairs. The one thing to know is in most cases, a stair lift, when it is up at the top position, you have to swivel it, to swivel the seat in order to get off the stair lift. When the seat is swiveled, it blocks the stairs.
Mm.
So it can be used as the barrier, if you will, because when approaching the stairs from the top, what the person will see is a seat to sit on.
That makes sense.
Okay. Thank you, Dondi. Is there anyone else who has a question?
So are y'all available to go out and give people not just an estimate, but like a walkthrough of what you see and how you can?
Yes, absolutely. We do provide this kind of service.
And us also, I know I have a lot of questions for you.
Sure.
If someone who's younger and is not in need, but like say they're doing some remodeling, would it be so there, you had mentioned there's things that you can do ahead of time, like for grab bars, you know, and preparation, because everyone gets older, and even if it's not somewhere you stay, someone eventually could benefit from that. So would you go ahead and install a grab bar when, like if you're remodeling a bathroom, like you would install those, or you just prepare the studs for the installation?
Okay, the first thing, if you remodel, if you have this in mind, if you have this concern in mind, you're remodeling your bathroom with the idea that this is the house you will probably age in, okay? The first thing to do is to create a barrier-free shower. That's the most expensive thing to do. If you don't do it at that time, you will end up with a brand new bathroom, a brand new shower that may not work a few years down the road. So let's do it the right way from the start, okay? Now, when it comes to installing grab bars, when we do a bathroom like that, even if we do not install a grab bar, we put blockings all around the shower, all the time. They're blocking all around so that later we can put grab bar anywhere we want, easily, very easily. We can even put benches, like folding bench that are anchored in the wall, because we would have put the blockings there. The blocking itself is, the cost of the blocking is irrelevant. We're talking about a couple of feet of 2x12 is nothing. It's a couple bucks. It's really nothing at the time of remodeling, before you put back you close the wall and you put the tiles. However, if it is not done, the cost of installing the grab bar now will be fairly significant to compensate for the absence of blocking. So did I answer the question?
Yeah, I think so. So you're saying even if you don't feel like you need grab bars at the time you're remodeling, you can prepare the background for that.
Yes, exactly. Put blockings everywhere up to, let's say, on the 4 feet all around. You put blocking everywhere, so that between 2 and 4 feet, and you will be covered.
And that would be something that like a general contractor would understand What?
Well, you have to request it. Most general contractor don't think of that. They go as cheap as possible. Even a couple of bucks is a couple of bucks. And this is particularly it's true when it comes to the barrier-free shower. We do showers that have actually no threshold. It means that you need to have a grade, which is about 1/4 of an inch every foot of distance towards the drain for the water not to run to the bathroom. The vast majority of a contractor will tell you, well, no, this is not possible. You can't do that. At least they are being honest. They are telling you, I don't know how to do that. What you don't want is the contractor would say, yeah, I think I can do that. Uh-oh, that raises a flag. No, you want to have a contractor that knows how to do that, that have done that already. They perfectly know how to do that.
Yes,
and it is possible.
We have seen people who have had that issue, that very issue.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. So you act as a general contractor?
Yes, when it comes, yes, we come to bathroom, yes, and we work with contractor that knows how to do that.
Okay, very good.
This is Russell. I'd like to add, so Dondi, I just want to make it clear for you or anyone who might not be familiar with the term. When we refer to blocking, we're talking about a board or a plank inserted the full width between the wall studs. And so it's, as Christian said, it's very cheap to add when the walls are open so that later, once you've already got your sheetrock or your tiles, you don't have to rip that off. You've already got what would be the appropriate mounting materials inside the wall.
Okay.
That if you look at the screen right now, that the picture in the center called bathroom wall reinforcement, this picture is not ours really, because we would put more on that underneath, not only at 3 foot, but also below that, so that we can put also benches and things like that. But this is in a shower, by the way.
So are different, that would be for like, is there a weight limit? Like if you're putting that in there, like it's probably fine for me, but if someone is a larger or heavier?
No, that's, I mean, you can't hang 500 pounds here. It's not an issue, not at all. When this is in place, it's not an issue at all. And even now, even if you don't have that, we have special anchors, but they are expensive, that can hold 300 pounds each. So now you have 600 pounds per grab bar.
Okay.
Even without the blocking, but now it's more complicated. And let's say that if you have the blocking in place, you know you have the blocking in place behind your tiles. Now you can ask any handyman to install a grab bar, and you can do it yourself. If you don't, you need to have professional to install your grab bar properly. We use very good anchors. We do that very professionally, for instance, but of course it costs more money because now it takes labor and those special anchors that are not cheap.
That makes sense.
I always say to my customer that the cost of a grab bar is not in the grab bar. The cost of a grab bar is in the anchoring of that grab bar.
It's nice to see that they're making the grab bars more aesthetically pleasing as well.
Yeah, that's called designer. We call them designer grab bar. There is quite a large choice of them. Yeah. And
I know you're on a time limit. We're butting up till 1 o'clock. I'm sure you have other things to do, but I did want to, last time we did this and you had talked about the walk-in bathtub, and I was recently at an estate sale and I saw one. I was like, oh, that was not a good choice. And I know why.
Yeah, exactly.
So I do very much appreciate your knowledge and your information and you sharing it with us. And thank you so much. I've learned a lot from you.
You're more than welcome. I'm glad.
Well, thank you all for participating. And if you have any further questions, you can certainly find us, 101 Mobility of Houston. We are on all the social media sites. You can write to me, that's Russell Klein, R. Klein, R-K-L-E-I-N, at 101mobility.com. Christian had his contact info up before. you can certainly find me through the registration that you used, I believe, to participate in this Zoom session. So again, thank you all for participating, and we look forward to hearing from you if you have any questions in the near weeks. Thanks so much. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.